Okay, I'm going to teach the class. That is what. First of all, in today's class, I am going to teach you thread synchronization. Thread synchronization. Okay. Thread synchronization. This is the topic today. We will try to understand what is thread synchronization, how it is achieved, and why do we need synchronization, thread synchronization. How to achieve, and why do we need synchronization? Why do we need? How to achieve and why do we need? So let us see actually what is happening. See, suppose if three threads are there, T1, comma, T2, comma, T3. So in the previous session, we try to understand how to create a thread and how to implement the multi-threading. Okay, we in the previous session we have covered. So suppose three threads are created, T1, T2, T3. So then what happened? We can't predict that which thread will execute first. So there may be options like what first T2, T3, some options. T2, T3, T1, otherwise T1, T3, T2, otherwise T2, T1, T3. So we can't predict that which thread will be executed first. Okay. So in such a moment, we need to implement this synchronization. In synchronization, what happened? Thread will be locked. Until unless that thread will not be executed. So that thread will be locked. After that, whenever thread executed, finished, so that thread is unlocked and next thread will be locked and its execution starts. Okay, that is the story. But in thread class, we try to understand somewhat methods. Okay, join method. Right. So normally what we do, we will use the method as T1 dot join. Okay, this is the method of thread class. Already I have taken the class over the main threads of thread class. What is that? Join class, join method, start method, sleep method, run method. Many methods I have discussed in the previous class. So to overcome this, okay, join method will be used. So what it does, join method, try to understand. Join method means we are mentioning the threads. So until unless T1 thread will not finishes its execution, no any thread will be accepted. Okay, because T1 dot join means until unless T1 is not being executed, no any thread will be entertained. So whenever T1 thread finishes, next thread T2, T3, whatever it may be joined. So problem is what if we have 1,000 threads, how many threads? If we have 1,000 threads, so for every thread I need to write what? T1, T2, T2 dot join. Okay. and so on up to, and so on. I need to write for T1000. Okay, T1000 join dot join. Okay. Okay. So I need to, if I have 1000 threads created, for every thread I need to write the method T1 dot join, T2 dot join, like that, T1000 dot join. So it is somewhat bore. It is not bore, actually it is somewhat tedious job. Okay. So to overcome this, this synchronization started, okay, in the Java programming, especially for the multi-threading. Okay, many threads are there. So in multi-threading, synchronization will be used. To overcome this, to write for every thread join. Okay, so let us start how to achieve. Suppose now I am going to keep all this as parameters. Okay, now that is what under comment section. Okay, now this is totally under comment section. Now write the code for, first of all, this is the main class. Okay, this is the your main class, and this is your main method. This is main class, main method. If I write any code, normally that will be executed by the main method, means main thread. Okay, if I will not create any thread, that time if any code is there, 3 lines of code, 4 lines, that will be executed by the this main thread. Okay, the thread come under which will, that is the default thread. Okay, so here I am going to create the thread. So first of all, in the previous classes I told you that there are 2 ways to create the threads. One is by extending keyword. Another one is by implementing an interface, runnable interface. So today we will, here I am going to take by extends. Okay, by extends. So first of all, I want to create a class name somewhat like any whatever. Suppose if I will take as it is to be taken as somewhat demo. Okay, demo class. Okay, this is demo class. Within this demo class, open brace and flower close braces. Within this, whatever the thread lines of code to be kept in this demo class, first of all. So whatever the thread, so in the previous class I told you how to create the thread. Now the same line of code I am going to write here to create a thread here. So this is the demo class. Within this we need to create a method. That method is what, public void. Why public, why void? Void means this method will not return anything. Okay, after that, method name display. So then after braces, open brace and close brace. Okay, so one more, this braces, no, you need to keep them very carefully, otherwise no, you will forget and finally you will be in somewhat trouble to how to execute that. Okay, so this brace for class demo and this brace for this method display, this brace for close brace for demo class, like that. So why void method? I told you that this method void means in this method will not return anything. So then after, why this public? Public means this method is publicly accessible. It's access method access modify access identify public. Okay, another meaning of this public is this method is object oriented. This display method is object oriented. So we need to create an object for this. Okay, so next one, this is the meaning of public. Okay, next, within this public method, here I want to write somewhat instruction. Suppose for I am using for loop here. Okay, this is the syntax. It will help Java interpreter, Java compiler, not interpreter, compiler. This IDE platform, IDE, this is Visual Studio Code. It will help us in writing the code. Okay, so I less than equal to 0. Then after, this is your termination, semicolon, I plus plus. It is indicating clearly. So this is the code. Okay, then after again, open braces, open and close braces. Now here you put a print statement. I will explain system dot. So it has guided us. So accept this one, line of code will be printed here. So here whatever you want to put, here, I want to get the numbers here. I want to get numbers one by one. The printout. So here I is equal to 5, otherwise 4. 4 means until unless this condition will not be satisfied. Okay, until unless. So this loop displays the numbers. I means index 0. At initially 0 will be published. After that 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So here the code is I have written for this. Okay, for this. After that, suppose if I want to implement a thread, I told you that we need to call sleep method. Sleep method, that is the static method of a thread class. Static method of a sleep method, that is the static method of thread class. This sleep method, this is static method of thread class. So within this bracket, we need to pass a parameter as milliseconds. Okay, this is okay. Now this, why it is giving error means, always I told you that this sleep method is a static method, so no need to create an object, but it may raise any exceptions. Exceptions means errors. So this code must be kept under try and catch blocks. So that's why it is giving error. Okay, red mark. So keep try. After that brace. Okay. So then after terminate with the brace again. So now there is no any error here. Understand that it is giving error because, okay, now thread dot sleep, it is over now. Okay, next you need to put catch block also. So always try block associated with the catch block. Catch. So in between catch parenthesis, we need to write exception. Exception E. Exception E. I will explain what is exception E. Okay. So then that is to be terminated with the, okay, a catch exception. Exception means error. E stands for exception. So whenever any exception means error, in programming they are called bugs. Okay, errors. So whenever error occurs, that error exception, so many error exceptions are there. Index out of bound exception, arithmetic exception, so many. So whenever exception occurs, that exception stored in this E variable. E is a variable, stands for exception. So that exception will be stored in this variable. Okay. Now this catch block closed, try block closed. After that, for this class demo, for this method, okay, for this for loop, 3 braces, okay, we need to try block closed and then catch block closed for this method class, for this method, for this for loop, 3 braces. Then after we need to only 2 is there, one put one more brace here, otherwise you will get errors. Okay, now this is over, the code here means now total this line of code kept under a class demo, now it is a coding part of a thread. Now one thread is created. So after that we will try to do how the thread will be executed, huh? That is another thing. Okay, now here see, now you come here, you come down here, okay, create a class. I told you that how to create the thread, how to create the thread. First of all, I told you that there are 2 ways to create the thread. One is that by extends keyword, another one is that by that is what, one is that your by extends keyword, another one is that implementing of a runnable interface. Here I am going to use, take a class, okay, take a class, what is this class, and then extends class, then after class name, okay, class extends class extends, take a class name which extends, okay, demo, take a class name, you need to take class name is what, take any class name, what is that, any take name, practice, suppose practice. So practice is a class name. Okay, this class practice extends demo class. Okay, now here braces starts. Okay, now it is, that's why you have written the code well. Before that we were getting a red marking. Okay, now it is okay. Now one class name practice, this practice extends the demo class. I told you that there are 2 ways to create the thread. One is that by extending of a class, by implementing a interface. Here extending means once a class extends to another class. Now once a class extends to another class, then what happened here, this class becomes a child class. This class becomes a child class. So this class becomes a parent class. But here I need to extend thread class. Okay, okay, so why thread class I need to extend thread class? Thread class is the part of language package. Okay, that is the language inbuilt package. So for in that package one thread class is predefined. Okay, so that thread class has the methods, somewhat methods. One is this method, sleep method. So in further we will write run method. So run method, sleep method, join method. Here I have written somewhat join methods. I told you that time, by join method, if I created 3 threads, 1000, I need to write for every method join. So that's why to overcome this, synchronization is being used. I told you that. So I'm going to implement all the things. First of all, let me create the thread. Thread is created. Okay, thread is created here. Well, after that, so what is going on? First of all, this I want to keep this one in, keep this one where under comment section. Now your this line of code, you copy, cut off this, you put here, okay. Why I will explain. Okay, this is okay. Now Okay, now you paste this as a paste this. Okay, now what happened? Try to understand. Now this class, this class practice become a child class for thread class. Thread class becomes parent class. Here, this parent class has many methods. One is that join method, run method, sleep method. So for that sleep method, in thread class, so the same method we are creating here. That is what you are run. Okay. So here what happened? Extends means inheritance occurs. Inheritance occurs. What do you mean by inheritance? What do you mean by inheritance? Inheritance means, try to understand. It is indicating that within 10 minutes class will be terminated. Then after you click same link, you can join. Somewhat lengthy class it is, okay. And second, that part in covered in second class, okay. That is very interested class, thread synchronization. Don't leave the class. Thread synchronization, first of all, thread created. After that, how to overcome that, because out of 3 threads, 4 threads, which thread will be executed first, okay, that will be checked, okay, here. So now what happened here? Your thread is created, the thread kept under a class, that is what your extended class, that is your practice. Now it becomes what? Child class for parent class of thread class. Okay, thread class has a method, run method built in. That method will be overridden by the method I have written here. That will be overridden. Okay, overriding means what? If a parent class has a method and same method and parameters if implemented in child class, that is called method overriding. I told you that thread class has a method run, built-in method. The same method I have written in this child class. Okay, so inheritance means what? This if any parent class has method, parent class attributes and method inherited by another class, so that is called inheritance. Okay, so let us try. This is what catch block, catch and try and catch blocks defined. Now here I need to create the object first. I need to create the object for what? Whom I need to create the object, not for thread class. I need to create the object for the child class. Okay, okay, create the object for child class. Practice. Next word, object name obj is equal to okay, this is the syntax to create the object. Now object is created. Now you need to do what? To run the thread, you need to call this, you need to call the start method. Start method of whom? Start method of thread class. So now how to call the start method? Obj, because object is this. By this object, I want to call the start method. That start method implicitly call the this run method. Okay, part of thread class. So obj start dot start method. Okay, start. Now brackets start, then termination. Now what happened? This start method implicitly calls this method. Implicitly means without fail, immediately. This start method and this run method both are part of your thread class. That is the inbuilt class of language package, predefined. Okay, whenever we call this, whenever we use the start method, it starts the thread. Means it starts the thread. Thread is where instructions written in run method. So method thread will be started by the start method. So this start method implicitly immediately calls this run method. Okay, so then whatever the instruction written in this thread will be executed. Okay, so now try to understand what is going on. Let us, this is the main class and this is the main method. So if this thread will not be executed, this thread will not be created, so the code will be written hello world. This will be run by the main thread. Okay, this line of code will not be executed by the your main thread. Okay, this will be executed only by your main method, means main thread. So let us do how it will be executed. I want to compile this one. What is going on? Let us see whether where is there unresolved compilation problem. So what is that? So re-enable it. Where is it is giving error? Okay, how it is to be. Okay, let us see in where. First of all, let me see in Java 23 line test dot Java 23 line 23 line. Where is the 23 line? 23 line public class app. Your app na. So you need to compile this one. Compile this one. Okay. Okay, this is for main.java long unsolved test. Okay. Okay, come first of all, let us check that whether we have written the code well. Everything is we did well or not. First of all, let me okay, it is under comment section. Everything is there. For the main class, one brace, and for the main method, one brace. Two are two are terminated with okay, that is right. For this class practice, we have created, this is the practice class. I have created the practice class for the object new practice bracket. Now this I have started this with the obj.start. This is right. It will call this method here. Your thread is what? This is the parent class. Okay, now it is open brace, close brace, open brace 3. This is okay. Okay, now 3 braces, system dot out println this thread catch block. Okay, now catch block, that is okay, closed. Catch block is closed here. Okay, now come down. This is your try block. 3 braces for loop. Okay, no. Okay, so extends inheritance occurs. Okay, so what is happening here? What is the compiler statement? Compiler statement is where it is stating that which line is error app.main test.java test dot, but I am not, this is it is testing test.java. Okay, it is not compiling, my practice file. Okay, so that is the problem. Okay, I need to, it is not being. So whenever you run this, no, that is actually what you are getting here. This, it is compiling that your test.java test.java. So no, I need to my practice. I need to do that my practice. Okay, you need to change this as file as what? Practice. Okay, you change this name, file name as practice. That's why it is giving error. You change it as practice, huh? Practice for what? Your method always class name must be capital. That is very important, huh? Always class name must be here. You write practice, rename, na? Rename this class name. You put practice, practice, practic practice.java. That is very important. That is your file name. Okay. Now this name practice.java, it is okay.